Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with another one. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with another one. It's the greatest YouTuber of all time. I want to know, does Paul Heyman still watch this channel? We're back. We're back with another one. Oh, come on. Here we go. Welcome back. Anyway, so today I want to dive into the vintage boom in Pokemon today. And I kind of want to add to the list of everything I was talking about. I mean, I want to challenge everybody to do this. Go online and try to find a pack of Holland Phantoms for $500. I'll wait. You know, on this channel, I said, just to add to everything else, I said Holland Phantoms, $500. If you can find any legitimate pack that hasn't been weighed or tampered with for $500, you're stealing it. Now go try to find one. People want like $3,000 for a Holland Phantoms pack, man. Crazy game. We talked about that on this channel. We talked about first edition Neo at 40,000 a booster box. It's over $80,000. I mean, non-stop. Like, if I just had a millionaire or a multi-billionaire, I should say a billionaire, backing all of the claims I've made on this channel, dude, they would be a multi-billionaire. Like, just listening to the fucking channel. And then you could throw me a couple $1 million so I don't have to do this anymore. But it's like, the predictions have been disgustingly spot on. And I can't say it enough. That's why when I make a video saying all of this channel's accomplishments, no one talks shit. I get thumbs up. You know, if I didn't have a good track record, everyone would be beating me down in the comments like, you told us to do that, and it didn't make money. You told us to do that. You know, remember when you said this? There's none of it. Because I'll openly say if I fucked up on something, I don't really care. Like, I'm not in a position where I'm paid by any company. Like, I'm self-funded. I fund my own interests. I don't need money, so it's whatever. So I have a completely free platform to do whatever the fuck I want on and talk however I want to. And that's a valuable thing nowadays because you get held to one investment. Like, imagine Michael Saylor. I mean, like, when you become the Bitcoin king or Grant Cardone, I gotta talk about Grant Cardone. But when you become Michael Saylor, you're dedicated to one thing all the time. Bitcoin, 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 Bitcoin. An investment can only be so good for so long, and then it's time to leave. For the most part, if it's not gold or silver, it's time to leave eventually. You start to feel the heat under your feet, and you say, hey, it's time to get out of this one. Let everybody else hold the bag. I'm going to switch to something else. But, you got that guy, saying to buy Bitcoin is going to make you a millionaire, and, all your subscribers have lost, all your fans have lost half their money. That bought it at 115K or down to, almost 60 grand. And everyone's like, what the fuck, Mike? You little fucker. You little gray-haired elf motherfucker. What the hell? And... Grant Cardone. By the way, if you invest with Grant Cardone, you are a stupid fucking human being. Anyone that trusts that guy, he is just a pure cuck that follows anything anyone that seems smart does. I guarantee that guy would get down and lick my balls if he's seen this channel and how good my predictions were. Because he's such a sheep. He would just follow anyone that has any results whatsoever because he has no real opinions of the market for himself. And the guy's whole thing is just such a Ponzi scheme, in my opinion. He's a terrible investor. He does fucking real estate with borrowed money from other people. And that's what I mean. These people are operating on borrowed money of other people's shit. That's all they are, man. They're people that are operating with other people's money that they can lose and keep losing for a little while until the bank eventually collects them for fraud or a Ponzi scheme, and they foreclose their asses. And you just shouldn't be following these people or investing with Grant Cardone. Did you know people actually invest their money in Grant Cardone? And he can hit you for fees and stuff like that. That's why I don't trust these investors. I've seen it happen. They secretly steal your wealth by these little fees that when you invest let's say 100 grand with them, and they make money off something, double your money at 200K, they'll hit you with all these stupid little fees and not even tell you. They'll be like, yeah, you made 10 grand this year, man. You're doing good. Nice 10%. Really, they made 90% off your money. And that's what most of these guys do. And the difference between them and me is I operate all on my own personal funds. Everything that I operate on is my own. I don't borrow money from people. I don't use people's money. And I give my information away completely for free. I don't charge you a subscription, even though I probably fucking should. If Grant Cardone can charge for a subscription and do terrible ass advice like buy Bitcoin, bro, and lose half your money, and he still gets a fee when you have a channel giving you positive results every day. I mean, let's do the comparisons, eh? Grant Cardone is a total jackass, and it's just the truth. Leon Hart's a jackass too, man. I see some of his dumbass new videos. God, he's the most cringe adult I've ever seen. It's like a 4-year-old boy that's never really fully grown up. But either way, that's enough roasting people. I'm probably gonna get lawsuits and shit, so I'm just gonna back off saying anything else about terrible fucking investors and all that good stuff. But yeah, go across my list. And by the way, I was wrong on the last video. These weren't 50% gains. These were 100% gains. Clearly, you were almost doubling your money. I was caught up on Prismatic because you bought it 100, it's 150 even. You got a 50% gain. But Prismatic, Pokemon Center ETBs, you've got over 100% gain on that. Buying at 160, it's now, let's just say 350 quick sale. You've already 100% gained your money. Evolving Skies, you've bought at 250. you've about 80 to 90% gained your money. And if you bought silver at 40, you've 100% gained your money. Like in less than a year. All of this, folks, has been done in less than a year, by the way. 100% gains handed out on this channel like they're candy. I mean, I'm like handing them out to you like, gold, here's gold, bro. I mean, I'm like spoon feeding it to my audience. And the people that listen have made fucking killer gains. And most of these investing people, they're happy to get like an 8% gain. Like, I want everyone to realize what real reality is compared to like the stuff that you hear here. Like the shit that I'm giving you is like 100% gain a year territory, sometimes even more. And they consider like a 10% gain for the year really good, you know? And everything I've recommended has been tremendous. I mean, even last year, like I said, with Holland Phantoms, $500 to $3,000 a pack. I mean, you've like 600% gained your money if you were buying Holland Phantoms packs at the cheap when I was telling everyone to do that. And they're just very difficult to find. Now, even the Pikachu that was like 40 grand is now 100 grand. I was calling that going up in value. I mean, even though I'm not a big fan of telling you to take a massive risk buying a $40,000 slab, that's why I try to stick into the more affordable markets like silver. Like anyone can take $40 and go buy an ounce of silver. You know, I don't care what wealth class you're from. You could pretty much make a move like that. I try to really listen to what my audience wants to hear and also give them the right fucking advice too. Of like, because a lot of my audience is like, well, yeah, man, we can't be doing this, you know, $3,000 for $4,000 for a Fusion Strike case. Like, none of us have this kind of money like you do. Like, we can't do that. Well, it's like, I completely understand. I've been there. And that's fine. That's why I've given a long range of all kinds of things to invest in. And they've all hit. Everything I don't talk about has not hit. Besides Destined Rivals. Like, everything else has kind of pretty much stayed stagnant. Of like, trust me, I look over all the investment advice. Like, all of the different things you can invest in across the board. I look into vintage Pokemon, modern Pokemon, silver, gold, platinum, palladium. I mean, like everything. I look across the board at everything, and I really decide what is undervalued, what numbers really make sense, what's on sale right now, you know, and that's how I've gotten so tremendously good at doing this, is I've done it for so long, and I've gotten so tremendously good at being able to tell when something's overvalued and when something's undervalued. And also just knowing history, of like knowing the history of gold and silver. Like once you learn the history of gold and silver and how every fiat currency fails over time, you start to really just see gold and silver as like, okay, this is what you should definitely stack a hoard of. Regardless, even if you believe in Pokemon, you should still have a nice 50% of your portfolio in the metals. I don't care what anyone says. It's keeping your wealth safe, regardless. So, but that's why I like to be such an independent channel like this and a self-funded channel, is because I don't have to stay dedicated to anything. I can tell you when it's a good buy, and I can tell you when the hell to get out of it when it's a good sell. I don't have to sit here and just preach Bitcoin over and over, or preach even silver over and over. I can tell you other things like Evolving Skies, like those ETBs. Like I watch YouTubers debate, especially PokeTubers, God, debate something going up $20 fucking like they're a genius. Like Shining Fates. I told you guys to stay the fuck away from Shining Fates. It is $115 right now. Bet good luck selling it for that, dude. It's Shining Fates. No one gives a fuck. And this was an investment the Pokemon Joey told you to. Yes. Okay. He told you to buy, what, 50 or 60. It has hardly even doubled. And it's still an undesirable, shitty ETB that no one really gives a shit about. Like, when I was telling you, hey, Champion's Path is 80 or 70, 80 at the time when Shining Fates was 50, and it's like 160 now. And at least it's a desirable ETB, you know, with with an actual good promo, and more potential, and it's older. Shining Fates is a terrible investment, but like to see that this is what Pokemon tubers argue about. telling you to buy, like, because most times it's telling people to buy like Shining Fates at like 80 or 90. Like it was some god investment. And it's like, you're going to be lucky to just get your money back out of something like that, man. Shining Fates was not that good. And it's not rare in any way possible. Not a regular ETB. But that's the point of this video. I really wanted to go over more and really emphasize, like, most channels are like giddy if they predict a 20% gain. I've predicted double up after double up after double up, 100% gain after 100% gain after 100% gain, non-stop. Like, the best investments you can make. Calling when other items are overvalued, like Bitcoin. Like, especially when it kept going up. Everyone just thought, oh, it's going to keep going up 30% a year. I was the first one to call that's a myth. Nothing can go up steadily for 30% a year, guaranteed, without some type of retracement, and then it going up more. Because if everything just went up steady 30% a year, everyone would throw their money in it, and it just would not work. I mean, it can work with gold and silver because it's the real actual money. That you could see gains in gold and silver 30% a year, year over year. But even that, you're probably going to see some pullbacks here and there, some gain, some pullback. Like, nothing is a steady 30% every year. No investment out there. And if anyone says that, they're full of shit. Nothing is a guaranteed 30% investment. That's just foolishness to believe something like that. And you will most certainly lose money believing in fairy tales and riddles like that. But it's like believing there's fairies in the woods. But anyway, that's the point of this video, though. Calling out trend after trend after trend. I mean, vintage packs. I was on telling everyone, hey, the vintage... I made a video specifically about this a year ago saying vintage packs are drying up. They're getting harder and harder and harder to find. Legitimate ones. People are scanning them, cat scanning them. People are fucking weighing the packs. I mean, to find an untampered with blister pack of any older set is kind of not a bad idea, especially if it's like Hall and Phantom, Skyridge, Deoxys. I mean, these were all very cheap when I was making videos on them, and now they're ungodly expensive and very difficult to come by untampered products. It's like it's either a heavy pack or a light pack at this point, and the blisters are just getting very difficult to find. But yeah, like I had called Hall and Phantoms telling all of you, hey, if you can find it for under $1,000 a pack, you're doing great. Even, as long as it's not weighed or tampered with and someone can guarantee it somehow, you're doing great at $1,000 a pack even. And, now look online. A blister of Hall and Phantoms is $3,000, $4,000 plus. And if it's a 3-pack blister, it's even more ungodly expensive. And the cards in Hall and Phantoms will always hold crazy value. The Deoxys went up from 4,400 and people are already buying it at shows for like $7,000. Every card in Deoxys in Deoxys and Hall and Phantoms is exploding because it's so hard to fucking pull these cards, and it's so difficult to find the packs that not much is on the market. Even when you look at Hall and Phantoms on the market, there's like 2 blisters. There's one for $3,000 and there's one for $11,000 with the Gyarados artwork. And then there's really not much besides that. I mean, like, there's really not a giant flood of Hall and Phantoms packs. But if you can find any decent deal on untampered with Hall and Phantoms, and I mean, that's tough because they cat scan them now too. I really think it's a good buy if you can find them for $1,000 less. But now it's impossible. Try to find a Hall and Phantoms pack untampered with, guaranteed for under $1,000. I mean, it's impossible. But we were saying that on this channel. I mean, Evolving Skies, that ETB dip, incredible. The prismatic, like Vapor was like ecstatic. He got one thing right. His whole entire career, he's been talking for months about prismatic evolutions, and now his advice finally panned out. And he's like giddy as a schoolgirl when, he's made a little bit of a gain, but like we've been telling you to buy gold where you gain $1,000 in a month. Like he's been talking about this for like a year. And, here this channel is switching to 8 other good investments while he's still worried about prismatic evolutions. We supported his opinion, saying that, hey, he's onto something. He's right. Like, you should buy prismatic evolutions. It was a good set. They're not going to print it. It'll eventually dry up. And 151 is already so expensive. Why is prismatic not this expensive? We've called it. And like I said, that's just the point of this video, to just go over more history of this channel. I challenge any of you also to find a better investing advice channel over the past year. Anyone that has given more solid and more across the board data than me, I would love to see it. I would love to see it. Because I had some proof that they've predicted this many things right and like one thing wrong. Especially when they go over every market, like crypto, one of the hardest markets to predict by far. Gold and silver, still a difficult market to predict sometimes. And Pokemon, which is also can be difficult to kind of navigate your way through that. That's a pretty big maze. There's a lot of sets. There's a lot of different things to not buy, and a lot of things to buy, a lot of things to watch on sale for. There's just a lot of different things you got to know. And if you watch this channel, there was no one that's even compared close. None. Not even one. And my last video, I said, name somebody. No one can. No one can. Our track record is tremendous. I'm self-funded. I am doing this for free. I gain nothing from you doing whatever you do. Those are the best channels to take advice from. Like, not someone with like a special interest or other stupid desires. People that want to get richer, selling you crap like Hawk Tuba coin. We're the best in the business. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy this one. Let me know. Did you find any Hall and Phantoms packs when they were cheap? Did you buy gold and silver when it was cheap? Did any of this advice help you gain money, or are you mad? What was the thing you didn't listen to me about that maybe you're pissed off about and wish you did listen? Were you holding Bitcoin at 90 grand when I said to sell it and you're pissed? Let me know in the comments. I'm generally curious where a lot of you are at. I feel like most of you that watch my videos, you're already right where you need to be. Holding silver, holding certain boxes, or maybe starting to sell off like Evolving Skies and other boxes that you've gotten gains from, or Prismatic, selling it. Highly recommend selling Prismatic now that it's rose, or maybe holding a little longer, but highly recommend just taking your gains on a lot of stuff that in Pokemon that you've gotten, and looking for the safest exit, which in my opinion is still silver. But at the same time, Pokemon's been getting a nice boom. It may defy reality forever like it has been, but at the same time, it might not. That's a tough call to make there. But I can definitely tell you when something's a good buy compared to how it was. And Evolving was just a perfect one to get with that. Prismatic, when it had its big dip, and it only lasted a couple of days. And I said to everyone, when Prismatic PCEDBs dropped to 160, I said, hey, this isn't going to last long. Like, you have like 2 days to move. And I was right. Like they launched right back up like 2 days later. And they just have not stopped ever since. I mean, the calls on this channel are just brutally good. CN Skybox is up to 250, by the way. I think I was saying to buy those at 150. But, dude, it's nonstop, man. Like when I really started to look at my track record, I'm like, damn, like, who can beat that, bro? Like, I'd love to see it, unless the Leaf's going to beat my channel. Anyway, that's all we got for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned. Silver, still doing tremendously well. I still think it's a great idea to just keep holding. Like I said, if people are buying fake silver for 60, I think you're pretty safe holding real silver at 80. You know. Anyway, that's all we got for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. We're out.